What's going on, everybody? I wanted to break down the best build right now on this brand new update and going on for the future. I'm guaranteeing that this will stay meta in many ways. Of course, they're going to nerf and buff different things, so things will change, but that's why you stick around to the channel for all the new stuff that I discover as I go. All right, you're looking at two amazing weapons. Yes, that's right. The Interceptor and Ram 7. I'm not going to hold you. Those are the two main weapons. We're going to get into the attachments and the build and the playstyle. I just wanted to showcase what exactly this will have to offer when it comes to the feel of it. So we're going to go into edit. I'm calling it the GOAT Ram 7. Okay. This thing slaps. All right. And the actual attachments that I have are for a specific reason. You're going to give yourself an easier run. There's different play styles, and what I try to explain to people is, regardless of what gun people suggest to you, the attachments is what make it different. You can have a long range Ram 7, put a 2-scope, 3-scope, something bigger and longer. For me, I like the slate just because the way it looks. It's very clean, very simple. And on top of it, it doesn't have any type of effects that hurt the actual gun. All right, so a lot of these are well put together, but some of them will hurt you because visually they clog up the screen, or they actually have effects that are bad. All right, that in mind, with the mag, I go with a 40 because the small nerfs to mobility and handling I don't want, because I'm gonna be running around and I have a decent secondary to do some work with. So I go with 40, but honestly, if you really want to try to slay, you can handle it with a 60. Okay, it's going to drop your ADS speed, which is a problem, but you'll be fine. It's a choice, and this is dependent on what you're really trying to do. If you're trying to take out a full team with this one weapon, go for it. If you feel like you miss a lot of shots, go with a 60. But 40 is the answer, and you're going to lose very little on a couple of important stats, but it's not something that's going to affect you drastically. Okay, then for the handles, we're looking at the FTAC MCP 90, aka, let me get that aiming while speed walking, the vertical recoil, the gun kick control, and the movement speed buff, basically helping out a lot. And it doesn't hurt a lot. It has a little horizontal recoil and aim walking stability, which isn't a big deal, and that's going to be humongous. For me personally, I need a suppressor that takes me off the radar. The way I like to play is I stick with the team. So sometimes if I'm solo, I would change this, but most of the time I'm a team player. So having a sonic suppressor gets me undetected when I'm shooting, and then the bullet velocity is good and the damage, so I can still shoot decent range. Okay, and I only lose a little bit of recoil control and sprint to fire, which I shouldn't be sprint to firing anyways. Okay, so you shouldn't worry about that stat too much. You should focus on, you know, slide canceling before you shoot, so you won't have to worry about the sprint to fire. There's a lot of methods to get into, and there's plenty of other ways and builds to set up. In the future, we're going to be doing multiple versions of these builds. For now, we're sticking to this main one, and I'm going to go through this very quickly because there's nothing to go through. This is the default format for the moment. It is top tier. Honestly, I love it. And the for example, the optic here, the Havoc, top tier stuff. You can basically feel like a sniper, but you're not necessarily restricted. You can use it up close with it really well. The MTZ, aka that's broken. This is what this weapon is. You want to put this on. It's going to give you that bullet velocity and range, recoil control, and kick, so you'll be able to hit more consistently. And then last but not least, of course, the Shadow Strike suppressor, just for the Raider. That's it. And then now you can keep tweaking this, adding an extra element. I left it open for you guys to decide. As far as loadout goes, some of this is preference. I like the smoke to be aggressive or to get away. It's a good play by play situation. And then the throwing knives just to try to get the down kills. And these for perks, I would go with my best, which is the double time for a little more speed, the sleight of hands for reload speed, and then the tempered to be able to plate up faster and not have to worry about it and become, you know, trying to play 3 and you can just have 2. And then high alert is one of those where you don't need this if you're going to play a certain way. Personally, I take a lot of risk, so having it on allows me to recover from those risks if somebody's behind me, besides me, while I'm rotating and things like that. All right, that is the setup, and you're going to be doing great things in Warzone, aka 3. That's what I'm gonna call it. That's the setup, and there's plenty more builds. As you can see, I have them all stacked up, and I actually made more than this and made videos for all of these, and I have them on the channel now, so go check that out and let me know what you think. Which one are you feeling the most out of all of these setups, and what will you change, and what do you feel is best for you? All right, thank you. Go ahead and watch the next video. Peace.